Okay, so once again, I've got the same clamp testing apparatus set up, and I'm going to try this clamp. The beauty of this clamp, other than the fact that it's homemade and it's made from commonly available stuff, if you're into that kind of thing, I know a lot of people that they wouldn't be bothered doing this kind of thing, but there are other people that enjoy doing this type of thing. And it's good to have a design reference to go by. And that's basically what this is. I'm not saying to people go out and buy the material to build this clamp and it'll, save the day or whatnot. But if you have the stuff laying around or you can find it for free, it'd be worthwhile to try to make some of these. Anyway, the beauty of this one is that it's rapidly adjusting because it locks in here on this screw. So you can set it anywhere. And I think that it can apply quite a bit of force. There are some weak points to it though. First of all, this is all mild steel. So mild steel easily bends, and but that's on its side too, because rather than snap off, it will bend. And then if it does bend, because you put too much pressure on it, you can always pound it back into shape and use it again. So that's not a problem. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking and set up the clamp here. And then I'll move the camera in so that we can see this better. Okay, I don't think it'll have a problem with this. Just cranking it here. Now, I'm feeling that it's moving when I'm cranking it at this point. I guess what's happening there is the bar is bending back and forth. But as you can see, it's still putting a lot of force on there. It'll be interesting to have a look at the clamp after it comes out of this test. Yeah, I can't quite bottom it out, but I'm going to stop there anyway. I don't think it can go any further than that. But it did go past 5 and stay there. Okay, let's see the damage. Doesn't look bad. There is a substantial bend in the back here, and that's the mild steel. It bends too easily. Even with the threaded rod in here to keep it, straighter, it's still bent. Also, I'm going to take pictures of these things up close so you can see it better. The bar has a bend this way, but not as bad. One thing that I was thinking about when I was building this clamp was substituting this 1/4 inch threaded rod for a 3/8 inch threaded rod. That really will add a lot of strength and not make it much harder to do. So when I make the actual plans for this, it's going to be a free plan. It's not a plan exactly, but a SketchUp model that you can download and go by. I'll change that to 3/8 inch threaded rod, and I think that'll be better. Up here, this bent a little bit, which was unexpected because I thought that this was super strong in here. That's the benefit of making something like that, like this though. You get to know exactly what's strong and what's not. Also, there's a little bit of a bend here in this part, but you got to realize that was a lot of force that this clamp exerted. And it's really a lot more force than you'd normally use a clamp this size to do. But other than those few small bends and whatnot, it still works and it didn't fail. That's the thing about a metal clamp. It won't, all fail usually. It'll bend out of shape before it'll fail. As opposed to a pure wooden clamp, it will fail and it'll fail quickly and it'll be done and you'll be finished with it. This one, I'm going to try to straighten this out over here. I'll bring it over to the vise and pound that out. I'm not going to worry about the bar being crooked. I've got bar clamps actually that already have a crooked bar from trying to put too much force on it. The clamps that I have, the bar on those is 1/4 inch thick. This is substantially better steel than this also, and that makes a huge difference. But I think that once I change, or if I were to change it to 3/8 inch threaded rod here, that would make it a lot stronger. Certainly it could get up to the point where it could bottom out this board, I'm sure. Okay, lots of things happen with the clamp. The bar bent, this bent a little bit, but the one thing that I had concerns about was the interface between these two pieces of threaded rod. I thought maybe this would possibly strip out a little bit, but it never did. It held just fine. It locks in there just right, like it did when I first made it. So that's a good mechanism right there. That's a good way to do this. All right, let's put this in my handy dandy vise here. And I'm not worried about the threads on the rod there. I can crush those all I want because the thing never goes up that high. Make sure it's good and tight. And I'll pound it back into shape. It's square again, and it's fairly straight. Just the fact that I did that straightened the bar out quite a bit, actually. So, ready for more abuse.